Thank you for coming. I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you for having me. It's pretty. I haven't done any podcast interviews. I don't know, maybe like more than a year. So
Really?
yeah.
Well, this is actually our first one back. So, thank you for coming.
Here you go, my boy.
I mean, this is our first one back in a year, like 10 months.
Right on. Well, congratulations.
And usually we do. Thank you so much. And
For sure, that's pretty big.
And it's dope that you're here. And it's somehow we're tied in. It's crazy because usually we only do people from the IE. And
Okay.
I know you're not born in El Monte, but you're kind of based
I'm from the
there now.
SGV.
But you're also familiar with San Bernardino, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's
I'm
where
real
we're-
familiar with San Bernardino,
Yeah.
Muscoy,
Let's talk about
Highland,
That's
Rialto, Colton.
Right. That's right.
I did some.
What year was that in?
I think I moved out there like 2002, 2003. And then I finally got out of that place probably like 2007.
You finally got out of
Yeah.
that place? Why are you talking about my city like that?
Nah, I'm playing. I just got in a lot of trouble out there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I wasn't probably at my best time in my life. So being that, Musco is what it is, pretty secluded. Yeah. Those are some sticky
Musquoy?
moments.
How would you describe Musquoy?
How would I describe Muscoy?
Just like geographic.
I would describe Muscoy like almost like Mexicali, where my family's from. Same heat, same desert type of surroundings. I'm not talking about San Bernardino itself, but more like Muscoy.
No, yeah, I'm talking about Musquoy.
Yeah.
No.
I would say it reminds me of Mexicali.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's what I'm asking. No, but it's dope. It's dope. Have you seen? I don't know if you've been out there recently, but they have the whole night vending life going on.
Yeah, that's been going. You're talking about the one off of Highland, and it's another street. It starts with the S.
I've driven
By the AM PM.
I haven't had the chance to go, but I don't even know if it's still up. But I know they had it going for a bit.
Yeah, I stopped there a few times. There was a little cart that sold like birria tacos and stuff like that, and it was literally a cart built out of plywood, and I would stop there and it was fire.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I heard they were selling alcohol and they had gotten closed down for a bit.
I wouldn't doubt it. Probably like pajaretes on the side
I heard
and all
it
that.
was something like that.
Moscow is known
Shout
for
out to
stuff like that.
Musquoy
For
a
sure.
bit.
I used to live off of Bronson and I don't know, Second or something like that.
And all the
Yeah, those are some good times. We used to ride horses in the wash.
Yeah. I mean, I've never.
I used to work at El Patio. I did a lot of security work at El Patio.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you about. That's what I
Castillo,
wanted to talk about. El Patio.
Centenario, and Moreno Valley. All
That's
those.
crazy.
Yeah, I was
Do you
pretty.
remember any of the artists that you saw there?
Of course. I worked security for Valentina Elizalde. I worked security for Jenny Rivera. I worked security for Juan Rivera. Cadetes de Linares.
Yeah.
El Original. I worked for him. Yeah, those are some good
El Patio
times.
is-
I got to hang out with Valentina Elizalde in his tour bus probably like 2 months before he got killed.
No way.
Yeah, we worked for him like an overnight party. And yeah, shout out to all my homies in Musquoy.
You said.
Lupe, Big Boy,
See, that would have never been possible
Luis,
without San Bernardino.
Luis El Carnicero.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to the homies. They know what's up.
San Bernardino made it possible.
You know what? Shout out San Bernardino. I actually started my medical field career in San Bernardino at LaSalle Medical at a clinic off of Medical Center and 5th. And man, those are some good years. Yeah, shout out San Bernardino for sure.
How did you start your
So
medical?
in the early 2000s, I didn't really have enough. I didn't really have a lot going on for myself, so I enrolled into a school called UEI for the medical assisting program, and
I thought you were talking about weed.
nah, I legit wanted to be a nurse, and so that was part of the stepping stone to being a nurse. So I became a medical assistant. Right after I finished schooling for medical assisting.
Medical assistant.
Yeah.
Too?
Yeah. So right after I finished schooling, I was like 3 weeks into my internship, and I got shot, and then so I had to take like a year off. And when I took the year off, I ended up living in back in San Bernardino in 2004. And after I got better and all that, and I was like physically better, I walked into this clinic and I was like, "Hey, I owe like 3 weeks onto my internship to finish my school. Are you guys accepting anybody?" And they're like, "Nah, hell no." Like looked at me because I had a shaved head, I was tatted, and they were like, "Nah, not right now." So I said, "How about this? I'll volunteer my time for a month free, so you guys could see how serious I am, and we'll go from there."
Shut up.
And they went for that.
Damn.
And so I ended up being there for like 5 years. I was a phlebotomist. I used to draw blood from the babies.
And they let you go the full month?
Nah, they hired me after 3 weeks. Yeah. They had told me like, no, but I mean, I needed 3 weeks to finish my schooling. So what they did is they let me finish my schooling, and then from there they hired me as a medical assistant and a phlebotomist.
Okay.
So yeah, it was pretty sick. I did that for a while, and then I got busted, and then I lost that job, and then my life kind of went down from there a little bit. I got a divorce.
What year was that in?
I want to say it was probably like when everything kind of went down. I'd say 2004 after I got shot.
2004.
Yeah, my life was already kind of spiraling down, you know. But I was always trying to stay busy so I could to prevent it from crashing, and it ended up crashing. I couldn't really help myself no more because I wasn't really like my mental wasn't there.
Yeah.
Psychologically, I was a mess. Physically, I was a mess. I had just lost like the most important person in my life, which was my homeboy and my brother, and yeah, so I had to deal with a lot, you know. So I had to take a loss in order to kind of reset and come back, and here we are.
Yeah.
Yep.
And okay, so let's go even further back, like your upbringing. What was what was your childhood like?
My upbringing, it was pretty crazy. I was raised probably until I was like 8 years old by my grandma. My grandma Flavia, she raised us till we were like 8, me and my older sister. And then around 8 or 9, my mom kind of came and swooped us up. She was working in Camp Pendle on the Marine base as like a teacher, and so she was living in San Diego. So I guess she had like quit that job, or I don't know what happened, but she ended up coming back, and she was like, "Oh, you guys are coming with me now. I'm back." And so yeah, I think from there, like my life was kind of a sad life. Probably like at the age of 10, I was pretty crazy. I was suicidal. I wanted to kill myself. Probably like from the age of 9 it started.
Why?
I think I was just unhappy because I love my grandma so much, and we were kind of like, I'm not saying we were taken from her, but you know, my mom just was trying to. My mom was just, she was here. She was we were her kids, and I understand, you know, but as a kid, I didn't. So, I think the only exit for me at the time was suicide. Like I just didn't want to live.
No way.
Yeah, for sure. And so I would threaten my mom a lot by telling her that I was going to kill myself. And one time she just told me like, "All right, you know, I'm kind of tired of you telling me that. I'm going to take you to a counselor so we could talk about it, you know." I'm 10 years old telling her I'm going to hang myself.
Wow.
And we went to the counselor. The counselor and my mom, or the counselor showed me to the kitchen where they had like a buffet style type thing. And being the little gordo that I was, got my grub on, and while I was grubbing, I had finished my meal and I went, and my mom and the counselor were talking in the office. And so when I went back to the office, my mom, the counselor was there, but my mom was gone. And the counselor was like, "Oh, you're going to stay here." And I ended up staying there like for 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like a mental facility for kids, adolescents, and adults. Yeah, so that's where like.
Were you able to see your mom during that time?
I saw my mom like 6 months later.
Yeah.
Because they use it like as an incentive for me to behave, because I was just.
Were you happy when you saw her?
Of course. Yeah, that was my.
Like, you didn't have any resentment.
Yeah, that came later.
But not that day.
Not at the moment, because it was just so good to see her after so long. Yeah, I caused so much terror in that place. And then when I saw my mom, it was kind of like, I felt better. That's all I needed. And then after that, I became a mentor. We would go on outings, and I would make sure the kids acted right, or else we would lose that privilege type thing. So yeah, it was pretty cool. I don't regret it.
You said you caused terror in that place?
Heck yeah.
Yeah? It's crazy to imagine you that way, because you're so like calm and peaceful now, and you're just a motivational speaker and so inspiring, and try to.
You know what?
I feel like you walk with a purpose, and I feel a lot of us lack that.
I don't know how to explain it, other than I'm just tired of that. I'm just tired of living and causing terror everywhere, because that was my specialty, was hurting people and making sure people respected me since I was 10 years old. It's still working. I'm still a work in progress, and that's what I tell the kids that I try to motivate, is that I'm the same as them. I believe that we're all one step away from one bad decision away from throwing it all away and going back to where we started, So by motivating the youth, it motivates me to be better and to try harder and to prove that I'm proof,
Yeah.
But yeah, I caused a lot of terror everywhere I went. It was either verbal terror, or just being disruptive everywhere, or being defiant.
And when did that stop? Like,
I think it stopped.
At what age? Or
I think it stopped probably when I was 24.
Really?
Yeah.
How long?
And I still have problems with authority sometimes. My goal is to work for myself one day, so I don't have to deal with anybody telling me what to do or when to show up or any of that. But I know that it's a stepping stone in life that you have to work through, and that's part of taking instruction. And sometimes, like myself, I need someone to kind of keep me in line, which is having a boss. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my boss, Street Kings LA.
And before we get into, actually, what is Street Kings?
Street Kings LA is probably the best cannabis cultivation, distribution, retail, and delivery company in this county of Los Angeles.
That's right.
For sure.
Yeah, I just tried their. It's not on the market yet, but there soon to be product.
Chill.
So good.
Yeah, it's fire. I take pride in consuming Street Kings LA product, and I take pride in protecting assets from Street Kings along with the employees, and along with protecting the owner. And I also take pride in now being a retail's associate. So I now go to all the dispensaries in and around Los Angeles, and I tell them about Street Kings, and I don't force them to buy our product, but they'll come around and they end up buying it for sure.
You work your magic.
Yeah, I just keep it real and keep it short and sweet, and the product speaks for itself.
Yeah, definitely. It's really good what I tried earlier.
Thank you.
You so much. And he brought us a gift. Wait, where's the camera?
It's right
there.
Shout out to the camera crew. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Street Kings LA. We definitely are. We're definitely on the rise. If you haven't heard about us, you'll know.
I love this. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it has a magnetic lid, so your stuff doesn't fall out. And then,
oh my god, this is so dope.
Yeah, for sure. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Got some stickers. These are dope.
Yeah, you're welcome for sure. Yeah, so Street Kings is what I do. Street Kings is what I rep, and Street Kings is what gets me through life by the product that I consume.
So how did you become associated with them or affiliated with Street?
What
year was that? I keep saying that because I'm like, you do everything. I'm just trying to see the
That's timeline. What I do now, pretty much.
Timeline of.
Yeah, that's what I do now. I've been with Street Kings for the past 2 years, and it's been the coolest 2 years. It's been a cool ride so far, and I think we got a long way to go, and it's only the start.
Yeah, and you do acting. How did that? I saw you were on a project from this. What is it? Sell to, or no, something.
I'm not sure.
To the set.
Oh yeah, from the streets to the set.
From the streets.
Yeah, to the for set. Sure. Shout out to From the Streets to the Set.
Shout out to them.
Bernice, who is a Latina female, I owe a lot to her. Although I'm not with the team anymore, I haven't been for probably more than a year. But they have my full support and my full respect. I don't think I would be where I'm at right now in life and what I'm doing with my community and other stuff like that if it wasn't for Bernice.
Oh wow.
Because I kind of shadowed her and watched how she moved in her community, which is like the Hollywood community, and I went to a couple meetings with her, like community meetings, and I just took a lot of mental notes, and now I could probably say that I do the same thing for my neighborhood.
Oh, that's so dope.
Yeah. So shout out to From the Streets to the Set. They're working on a very crazy project right now.
Shout out to them.
It's called Splash City. It's working with Burner, and they're reenacting them, or they're depicting a movie, a full-length feature film of the car theft and the car break-ins up in the Bay.
Oh wow.
And so my homies from Four Ways Entertainment, they're directing, and they wrote the movie along with Burner, which is the owner and CEO of Cookies.
Oh wow.
And so a lot of the homies that I acted with a few years back, they're leading actors in that movie today. And so it's pretty crazy to see my homies evolve. From where we started, we all started kind of struggling to not only get along with each other because we're all from different hoods.
Oh wow.
But we also struggled and started really being able to step outside our comfort zone, and we did it together. And to see where they're at now, it's a pretty cool feeling. Two of my homies, shout out to Big Chris, and also my homie Alex. They were both featured in a Showtime series called The Curse. And with some crazy like superstar names in that show on Showtime, and they both had leading roles in that. And to see them on Netflix or on whatever platform, that's pretty crazy. Yeah. No. So, well, shout out to them.
You're a celebrity yourself. You're out here modeling, acting. You're surrounded by other celebrities. How does that come about? How do you? I've seen you with Omar Ruiz, Santa Fe.
Yeah. You know what?
A few other people. Sorry, we've been.
Yeah, for sure. No, actually,
like,
the crazy thing is what I've been thinking about lately
how does
is
that come about? How does that happen?
yeah, it's just I think they're just blessings that are coming towards my way, and I'm just embracing them, and I'm just paying it forward at the same time.
Yeah.
A year ago, I think a year ago, this past Sunday, I was on the Grammys as a backup dancer for Bad Bunny.
No way.
Yeah, and to see like
I saw that on your bio, but I didn't know like
yeah,
you were serious.
I was casted as a merengue dancer
Wow.
for the opening act of the Grammys.
Everything. He does everything.
You know what? It's just life coming at me, and I'm just.
Merengue? How do you know how to dance? Like, where did you learn merengue?
You know what? I believe sometimes you just have to fake it till you make it. And someone that I know called me, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to be on the Grammys as a backup dancer for Bad Bunny? You'll be dancing merengue." And I said, I'm like, yeah, you got the right person.
Wow.
I had never danced merengue in my life, but I acted like I did, and it was a trip because while I was backstage and while we were rehearsing for the Grammys, the other dancers that were with me were like from Brazil, from Spain, and they were like doing their whole little rehearsing thing, and I was right there just I was just puffing on my little vape, and I was just tripping because I was representing the homies. The theme of the Grammys last year with Bad Bunny was everybody's like representing themselves and where they're from. And I was picked because I represented Los Angeles and I was representing the homies from here.
Okay, that's dope.
And so, so I just took it for what it was worth.
Wow.
And here we are a year later, and I can't believe it's already been a year, That was probably the most nervous time in my life.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
On all of your success.
I thank you. I appreciate that.
That's definitely, yeah, just another reason why we're so happy to have you here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I wanted to ask you, do you ever want to take on other roles? Like, I know a lot of the roles that you take on, you embrace like who you are and you have that opportunity, but do you ever want to be something completely different? Do you know what I mean? Like, or I don't know, have you ever had like a doctor role?
No. I think I've kind of touched.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure. Something that's been out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
I think I've met that part. I was casted in 2 projects as one of them I was a LA County sheriff.
Okay, yeah.
A gang unit.
Yeah.
With a movie that was directed and written by my homies from Four Ways. And also at the time I was with From the Streets to the Set. And so I was full blown, like just going with every gig that came my way. I was just kind of excited that I was in the position.
Yeah.
But currently, I probably haven't really. I'm not really. I'm not gonna say I'm not interested in the acting field because I miss it, and I kind of live through what my homies are doing right now, and I just kind of get my fix by seeing them do it. But I have a lot of, you know what, I am going to say it. I have a lot more important things to do.
Okay.
I have a lot more things that have purpose. Because another thing is like, some people ask me like if I'm beefing with From the Streets to the Set because I don't really rep it. I don't really, I kind of just, I'm busy, you know what I'm saying? And we're all busy. And I believe that if you're not going to go full force, then I'm not going to go at all, and that was kind of why I took a step back away from acting because I didn't really feel it was my priority.
Right.
Which I did in the beginning because it was exciting to me and it was something new, but
also you do like so many things. Like I was going to ask you that too, but I didn't know how to put it, but Is there, out of all of the things that you do, is there something that you would want to focus 100% on?
Yes, there's a few. That's the thing. There's a few things,
You do
but
everything. So, okay, so
I think
acting is
my
definitely, we shouldn't
um,
look out for
you
you
know what?
on the
I'm
scene.
not
On
opposed
the,
to getting a script put on my lap and someone saying, "I think you fit the role for this, and I really want you to give it a shot because I will." You know what I'm saying? I'm a believer in if you're given an opportunity and you and you deny it, you're it's kind of being foolish, you know. So if some shout out to all the directors and writers, if you have a role for me,
hit 'em
shoot
up.
it. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
He's open.
Yeah, I'm open. I what I can say is I don't have the time, and I don't have I really don't have the time to really study the field and study the art like one should continuously. And so therefore I don't really take it serious right now. But again, like if the opportunity came, it would be my priority
Right.
because that's just how I do it.
Made sense.
Yeah. So but yeah, I just have a lot of other things to
So
do.
what is your priority? Like
Right now,
what would you want to get? What do you want to be
a
involved
big priority of mine is just to see Street Kings really evolve to where it should be and where it's going. And I'm gonna be there to see it get there. Because I've been, I think I treat it like a baby to me because I've seen it and I've helped it evolve to where it's at now. That's a big priority of mine. Another priority of mine is obviously to spend a lot more time with my family. When you're in the entertainment industry, and you know, to shout out to all my homies that are in the entertainment industry, and they lose a lot of time with their family because everything is last minute in that industry, and you can't really pass up those opportunities if that's what your priority is. You
Yeah.
know, so I chose to spend more time with my family, and that's what I try to do. Other than just really work.
Yeah.
I'm a worker, so I work for mine, and I don't half step about it. I take it very serious.
How many kids do you have?
I have 4 kids of my own, and I have a stepson that I've raised. He's 20 now, and I raised him since he was 7, and so he's my kid. His dad passed away when he was very young, so I took it upon myself to raise a great man, and I think that's what I've done
Oh.
for sure.
And how old are they now?
So my kids are, my oldest one is 25. She has a little baby boy. My second daughter, she's 23. She has 2 baby girls. And then my son is 20, and my smallest daughter, she'll be 18
Oh.
this year.
How is it being a grandpa?
Um,
Do they call you grandpa, or do they have like another?
my little granddaughter, that from my daughter Destiny. Her name's Aaliyah, and she'll like call me Papa, and she'll say it like sometimes on a FaceTime or something, you know. But it's cool, you know. It's a work in progress. I don't have the greatest relationship with my kids, and that's something that's on my to-do list. Before my time is up,
Yeah.
is to make that right, you know. And
Why
you
do you
know,
think that is? Why do I mean?
I caused a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
Well, in their younger years.
You
So
reached out though. You've said you're sorry and all that.
I yeah, for sure they know what I'm doing.
No, but have you said you're sorry, or you said you?
How I said I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know you've.
Yeah, of course I said I'm sorry. But
They let you be in your grandkids' lives.
my oldest daughter doesn't. We don't really have a good relationship, and so I haven't met my grandson. But I believe that everything in due time is how it's gonna be.
Yeah, as
And
long as you work towards it.
yeah, so she knows what's up.
Yeah.
You know, my daughter with my 2 granddaughters, our relationship's pretty cool.
I think I see you post your granddaughters before.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's a trip to have granddaughters. It's a trip to even like just to have my daughters the age they are.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm kind of not their age, but it's just a trip that they're so like where they're at. The women that they've become, that's a trip.
Is it true? Like, is it different? The kids and then the grandkids, I don't know. People always say, like, "Oh, it's a different love for your grandkids."
You know what? It's not. I've thought about that. No, I get what you're saying. I think what I've thought about and what I've come to realize is that it's not a different love, but it's like a love again, right? So like there's a different love when your kids are little small and they love you back type thing, and they need you, to where the kids, when they've grown up and they're independent and they need you sometimes or whatever, so the love is different, right? So when you have your grandkids, it's like that love is back again. So that's where I don't think it's different, it's just missed.
Oh, okay.
You get me?
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. That was a
Yeah, so it's like, so it's not a different love, it's just something that you haven't felt in a long time, so it feels. Yeah, I think that's how it is, because when I see my granddaughters, they're so cute, like they're so like innocent and little.
Because I feel like my mom is way nicer to my daughter than she is to me. And I'm just like, oh, yeah, that saying must be true. Or like,
I think probably because because like the little ones haven't annoyed them as much as we have.
Like my mom's just like, oh, why did you hit her? Why did you get her in trouble? And I'm just like, you would have done that to me, lady.
For sure. But I think when our parents are, now that they're older, they maybe they want to be a little bit better. And they tend to forget how mean they were when we were little. But shout out to our parents.
Yeah, shout out to my mommy.
But yeah, that's what I do now. Street Kings. I do a lot of stuff with Hood Raised Lifestyle. I do brand modeling for them. I'm gonna do a pretty cool shoot with Solon pretty soon, in the next couple of weeks, with my fruit cart.
Okay.
I have a documentary coming out on the 23rd.
Wow.
That's called Food Heroes. I have a podcast coming out. I have 10 episodes coming out by October.
Hold on. Food Heroes.
Yeah, Food Heroes. Shout out to Food Heroes Complex. Man, just it's a trip. We filmed this project probably almost 2 years ago, and probably in the last 4 months, it came back alive, and it's gonna be aired on YouTube February 23rd at 10 a.m. It's a pretty good one. It's probably the best interview. Oh shoot, probably the best interview, and I really got deep into it. I just touched a lot of things in my life that I never touched before.
Oh, really?
So I don't know what the outcome is gonna be like. So I'm kind of nervous to see it as it airs. But I just hope that it really motivates those who think they can't be better, or I hope it motivates those that think it's the end of the world. Mm-hmm. But I think because I think I've proven, and I think I show that there's hope and there's light at the end of the tunnel, which is me. I think I'm living proof of that.
Right. Actually, it's me, because my name is Luz.
For sure.
I had to throw that.
No, for sure. I get you.
Just kidding. No, but yeah. And I was going to ask you, what motivates you? Like, what, I mean, I know everything, I hear everything you've gone through, but it's so easy to pick a different life, but you choose to work hard and be dedicated and...
Man, you know what? I choose to live the life that I live today. Mm-hmm. because I really feel like I've been spared my life. I really feel and believe that God has given me more than a few chances at life. And so, therefore, I try to live my purest life that I possibly can. Again, we're not perfect, and sometimes there's some stuff that I got to work on, like, relationship with my kids and just really treating my family as a priority. You know what I'm saying? And so I just feel like that motivates me. Like, what motivates me is by helping people. What motivates me is by feeling like I've saved somebody in a way. And those are the two medicines that I need in my life to keep me going, for sure. And therefore, that's why I take it upon myself to, do outreach work, give back to my community, give back to the homeless,
Positive
etc.
way.
For sure.
Because you could be doing, so many negative things too, but you choose just a different way.
I just feel like, again, I feel like I'm in a different time of my life. I feel like I don't have a lot of time left to start over again. Therefore, I gotta give it my all now. You know what I mean?
But you're still active, like uh, in your,
In my community,
yeah, in your community. No, like in your community and
from my neighborhood.
from your neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm from my neighborhood, and that's not a secret.
Yeah, no, and you're still, like, you spread positivity, and
Yeah,
that's something that you talk about in your motivational.
a lot of people ask me why I'm not an ex gang member, and my question to that is pretty easy. I'm not an ex gang member, and I take pride in the fact that I'm still from my hood, and I'm still welcomed in my hood, and and I take pride in the fact that I can give back to my hood ultimately.
Right.
And the way I see it, and I think the way the homies see it as well, is I kept it gangster at the time that I had to, and I got shot 5 times, and unfortunately, my homeboy from my hood, he didn't make it, and we were in the dogfight for our lives, and I don't ever live my life in his vein, and I don't believe that he deserved that he died, and therefore I'm gonna live a better life because I made it, and I'm always gonna keep his memory alive.
That's
Straight up.
That's respectful.
And I think a lot of my homies respect that.
Yeah, that's respectful.
I never, even from that day, like, I've never not said I was from my hood, and people ask me today, why do it's kind of weird how you're a gang member and you're still motivating, you call yourself a motivational speaker. And what I have to answer to that is, I'm just motivating in a different way.
I think that gives you, like, a different angle, or, like, the upper hand. Kind of, because I was in counseling and not the best student or whatever growing up.
For sure.
I think that hearing someone like you would be more motivational to someone like me than
For sure.
someone
I get what you're saying.
that I don't relate to.
Yeah, like a professional.
Yeah.
So that's why I take it serious that I changed my life. You know what I'm saying? Because I've changed my life so drastically and in a positive way that it motivates the youngsters. You know what I'm saying? And for that very reason, I don't have to I don't have to like not be from where I'm from in order to succeed, you know, and because of the fact that I take pride of where I'm from and I give back from where I'm from, I think that's prideful in itself,
That's the
and
part.
my homeboys respect that, you know. For the, you know, I haven't to this day ran into a homeboy of mine or a homeboy from any other hood that doesn't shoot me my flowers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No pun intended. I'm from Florida, but I'm just keeping it real. Like, homies come up to me and they tell me that they respect the fact that I'm doing what I'm doing, and that's what motivates me, and that kind of gives me that purpose that I yearn for since I was a kid. You know,
Yeah.
for sure.
And what's something that you learned as a younger version of yourself that's stayed with you, or who did you learn it from?
Oh man,
Something that drives you, you know, that's still to this day.
you know what
Moral.
I wish that I paid more attention to and I practiced the fact of believing in manifestation. I wish that I did that as a youngster, because my life would probably be different today. I mean, different in a way of like maybe professional wise. Maybe I would have went to school. I would have took it more serious. I don't know, you know, but
What would you have gone to school for?
I just really wanted to be a nurse.
But you can still.
I could, but I don't have the patience anymore. I have major ADHD, and so it takes a lot for me to go to school, and not that I don't want to, because I'm all for it. I'm learning all the time, you know, especially in the cannabis industry. It's a nonstop.
Sorry, can you?
It's evolving at a rapid pace, so it's always a learning curve. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And shout out to those who have ADHD. Just take a lot of notes. That's all I could say.
Yeah, I think I have ADHD, but I'm not diagnosed.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sure.
You just, you know, maybe you do. I think we all do.
Yeah.
For sure. I think the normal person does, because I think life is too busy not to pay attention to more things at one time, and that's a big symptom of ADHD.
I've been seeing a lot of videos that say that it's because we watch so much, like we have so much screen time. I don't
Our
know if
brain
that
is
has
just
any-
running crazy.
So we weren't programmed for that. So
Yeah.
now there's like all this shit, like depression. I mean, not all this shit. But
Yeah, there's so much influence. And the bad thing is that naturally everybody is looking for the bad, the bad influence. Whether it's bad stuff that you're watching on social media, violent stuff that you're watching on TV, like sexual stuff you're watching on movies, TV, social media, like all that stuff is just poison for the brain, you know, and I'm guilty of the intoxicating my brain with all that stuff. You know, and it's just, that's something that, and it has a big factor in the suicide rate today.
yeah.
A lot of these youngsters, they want to end their life because they don't meet the standard of someone that's being followed by 2 million people on Instagram. Or I've had people send me messages saying that they lost a crush on Instagram as a follower and they wanted to kill themselves. They would,
Wow.
and to me, like, even though it sounds funny and it sounds kind of petty, that's just the new world. That's the new world we live in, and these kids are they're really ending their lives because of followers and because of bullying on social media, etc. You know, and so I think by putting positive stuff like my fruit vending, my
Yeah.
my motivational speaking, outreach stuff, I think it can't hurt, you know, so I try to do a lot of that.
And how did the most recent like I know you were in El Monte at the high school, right? And did a speech
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
How did that one go? How was?
That was pretty cool. I hadn't been back to El Monte High School since 1997 when I got kicked out. And to go back for the reason that I did, which was to speak at the probation class. They have a program called, what is it called? But they have a program that's called Torch. It's ran by the law enforcement of El Monte. And it's a lot of those kids, it's court ordered. And so I happen to know and went to school with one of the officers that runs the program.
Oh,
and
wow, small world.
Yeah, so he got at me on social media, which all this time through high school, and I never knew he was in law enforcement until recently. And that was pretty cool. He reached out to me. He asked me if I was interested in speaking to some kids at El Monte High School. And shout out to DJ Islas. He's a pretty well-known DJ, which is what I know him as. I don't know him as an officer.
Oh.
Which I just met him.
He's not a DJ anymore.
Yeah. That's what he does, and being an officer is just his job. So, it's pretty crazy the fact that he recruited me to speak.
That's dope.
In the program that he runs, and it was an honor, and I did it, and I believe I reached these kids as I planned, and I look forward to reaching many more. I was asked by the Almani Police Department to return to a future program because they have it every, I believe, 12 weeks. It recycles. So they asked me if I could go speak to the next class, and it would be an honor for me to do that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very touching to me, and because of that, I took it upon myself to serve them fruta the weekend before they graduated from the program.
So cool.
So I pulled up with my fruit cart, and I hooked them up with some bomb fruta with tajin and all that stuff, chamoy, all that. So, yeah, shout out to the Torch program. I think they're making changes amongst these youngsters.
Shout out to them, and
For
shout
sure.
out to you. Like, that's really inspirational.
Thank you.
That's
And I get a lot of people asking me to, like, how can you motivate people? And I like to be transparent about a lot of things. So a lot of people will say, like, how can you motivate these youngsters and this and that, and still, consume cannabis and this, I get criticized sometimes for that, but my answer to that, and I've said it many times, is like, if you lived the life that I've lived, and you've gone through a lot of the traumatic stuff, physically, mentally, and all that, you would need a little weed to get you by as well, and I realize that, and I do, and it really keeps me at the place where I need to be, and that's grounded.
right.
For sure.
Yeah, I didn't even realize, like, we're talking about kids and smoking weed and being motivational, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, the reality of it is that, it's a medicine, and I fully support it, and I will continue to, because I think it's life-saving.
Yeah,
For sure.
definitely. Yeah, I love weed.
For sure.
And what can we expect next? Like, what's your next? What is it? I know you have the documentary.
Yeah, I have the documentary called
With
Food Heroes.
Food Heroes.
Yeah, that's probably
When
the
is that one
biggest.
coming up?
February 23rd at 10 a.m. on YouTube.
Okay.
I think it's YouTube /firstwefeast.com. First We Feast is the mother of the production, and then the show is called Food Heroes, and it's also supported by Complex. Shout out to Complex on Instagram, and shout out to Food Heroes and
Dope.
First We Feast. Like, for them to follow me for 3 days watching what I do, not only, and it was a big production, and shout out to the whole team, because they really had compassion in my story, and they sincerely, like, we had a connection. I was able to cook them, and they were able to capture the footage of me making albondigas at my home. And
that sounds so good.
yeah, at the end of the show, I served them each a bowl of albondigas, and we broke bread together. And I think breaking bread for someone it means a lot.
Yeah, that's
for sure.
And before I forget, wait, what's your favorite dish?
That I cook or that I eat?
Just that you eat. Both, I guess.
I think my favorite dish that I eat would probably be pho, which is a Vietnamese soup.
Really?
Yeah, it's called pho thai. It's raw steak sliced real thin in the soup. I like that a lot. I could probably eat that every day. Aside from that, obviously, cheeseburgers, pizzas, McDonald's. I eat McDonald's pretty regularly.
McDonald's?
Yeah.
That's funny.
My go-to meal at McDonald's, probably, like, I'm not gonna lie, once or twice a week, is the 2 cheeseburger combo with extra pickle, extra mustard.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fire. And since I smoke a lot, it sounds good all the time. So I'm not opposed to it. Spencer,